Hi guys, part 2 of Project 2000. As promised, we're just starting work on the interior work now. Just wanted to say thank you so much for the likes and subscriptions that we received from the previous video as well that we've uploaded. It's really nice to have some of you guys following along on the projects with us. So, it takes down a fantastic job of taking some of the carbon fibre stickers off, as you can see. And good news and bad news. Looks like the original green was just rattle canned on there, so it's just a 1K spray, and it's all coming off without stripper. It's just coming off with a bit of thinners. Not necessarily what we were planning on doing, but I think we'll do the whole cage like that now. Get rid of all this 1K spray because it will potentially react with our paints in any case. So we'll have all of that off. Start back to a fresh bare metal. Go from there.
Leave me, baby. Don't want
Okay, that's the epoxy done on the bare metal areas, just for corrosion resistance. Straight onto wet on wet primer, seal everything in, gives me a nice base to start putting the colour on.
fall again. This just hurt me. Just think about it, but you hold me like you don't wanna break. I need some space. Just think about it, maybe separate.
That's the cage mainly stripped. We ended up using some paint stripper in the end rather than just the thinners. It makes the job a little bit faster, a lot messier, but it's got the job done. We've left that small patch just there in the centre. That is to get the spectro onto, to figure out what colour code we're going to use for this car. trying to keep it as original as possible, back to how it was. All right, back on the front bumper again. Just set that centerpiece into position now, letting that bond cure before we do all the molding works on the edges, and trust the process. A couple of questions previously as well about what plastic welding we're using, what system we're using. It's actually a cold weld system that we're going for on this particular project. Fuser 132, as you can see it there. Phenomenal product if you use it correctly. Couple of different reasons that we've chosen to go for this one on this project. Aftermarket front bumper. So I wasn't sure what plastic that was going to be made out of, and at the time I wasn't sure what plastic I was actually going to be welding to it, especially with that centerpiece and things like that, which I still don't know what plastic that is to date. There's no markings on it or anything like that. If we'd gone with a hot weld system, you would have had to identify both plastics in question and use the correct rods and everything to get the adhesion and the weld strong, whereas the cold weld that we're using here, it'll bond to metal, SMCE fiberglass, all different plastics. So yeah, in this instance, this was the one to go for. Okay guys, we've had a bit of a rethink on the front bumper design. Wasn't too happy with the profile that we had before. Pleased with the gaps and everything, they're all lining up nicely now. Obviously a lot more finishing work to do still. But I wanted to work on the profile where the original bumper meets obviously the extended arch. It's just a little bit too flared out for me, so we've cut a new section out. I'm going to keep more of this curve extending back that way from the standard bumper. Again, you'll see that on the original maxpower photos. The original bumper is quite evident, and they kind of had a little corner piece added in there. So that's what we're going to try and do this time round with this piece here. Keep the profile going down, tack that into place almost, and then it'll just be a case of joining up the gaps. And I think that'll be more what we're aiming for. Yeah, see how we go. Okay guys, I think that's where I'm going to leave you for this week. Just sprayed a bit of grey primer on the corner that we're working on there, just to tie everything together a bit better. See what we've got going on, see what we need to work on better. it can be quite difficult sometimes when it's so many different colours to see exactly what the shapes are. What you're looking at here as well is purely the plastic and the plastic welds. There is no fiberglass or fillers or anything like that in there at this stage. One of the things I wanted to avoid, actually, especially after seeing the state of these original side skirts, we'll show you that more in detail next week, is just bodging this full of fiberglass or filler. It's just not the correct way of doing things, and in my eyes it will fail further down the line. Whereas this is as close as we can get, I believe, to a standard acting front bumper. I've left plenty of material behind here to work with, just in case the shape's not correct or anything. There's plenty of material in there that we can work with and alter things at that stage before I get too far down the line if we need to. So that's where I'm going to leave that one for now. So I think for next week's videos, we're hopefully going to get the roll cage into paint. We're going to ramp the progress up hopefully as well. It's always been the front bumper modifications and everything are some of the hardest things on this job as far as I'm concerned. The rest of the paintwork and everything on this car is, you know, very, very standard. It's going to absolutely fly along once I've got the bumpers sorted. We're taking our time, just making sure we've got the bumpers right and how they need to be. Yeah, again, like last time, guys, if you've got any suggestions or anything that you want to see in the upcoming videos, please do let me know. I'll try my best to include that into the process. But yeah, until then, I'll see you next time.